try it, but I don't think it's working.
We are experiencing some technical difficulties here from Dobson High School. The Dobson Mustangs will begin tonight with the football on the 20-yard line. At quarterback for the Dobson Mustangs will be number 8, Nicholas Zarro, 6 foot 188. He's a senior. What? First play of the night. They start with a run. That's their main ball carrier, Damian Duarte. He's a two-way player. Just say anything.
Check, 1-2. Yeah, nice carry there by Duarte. Stopped on the play by number 22 for Red Mountain.
We're trying to fight through the audio challenges here. They keep it around again, and they're just stuffed up the middle. Right there leading the charge, Alexander Randall. By the way, James, he's one of my impact players tonight. Wow, slow motion. It's not how you feel right now.
Yeah, what a great job of penetration there from the defensive line for Red Mountain. Alexander Randall leading the charge, as you mentioned there. And no hope that time for the Dobson offense.
3rd and 3. And we're going to have movement up front. Could not do this for 3 hours. Not at all. What could you imagine? By the way, when's that Grateful Dead show start?
They always talk about being able to slow the game down, Kevin. Well, this is it, my friend.
This is as slow as it gets. So the penalty will back up the Dobson Mustangs. Nicholas Zarro faced with a 3rd and 8 on his own 27-yard line. Possession play here for the Mustangs. 5-man front. Quick drop for Zarro, and he's going to be sacked. Sacked on the play. Francisco Saucedo there to meet the quarterback in the backfield.
Yeah, nice job knifing through there. Francisco Saucedo also in on the play. Number 14, Jared Wilson, the junior for Red Mountain. Excellent job there. And forcing the 4th down here for Dobson.
All right, we sent a crew out to the vehicle. They are at the vehicle.
They have acquired the splitter.
That will help us help you. Here comes the rush, and they nearly got that one. Shaq Daniels applying the pressure. Ball's loose on the far side of the field. Hiram Boren was in the area. Penalty marker thrown.
That was touched by a Dobson player. That was a live football. Very heady play there for Red Mountain to go ahead and lie on that guy's back and prevent him from recovering that. And setting up Dobson with very nice field position there. But Red Mountain good to go here, and they're going to take their turn on offense.
We welcome you to Dobson High School. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. Red Mountain football on YouTube. And Red Mountain will have their first offensive series of the night. And let's start it with George Ramirez. He's going to start at tailback tonight. Jarquell Garner is in civilian clothes tonight, and he will not dress. So we will see George Ramirez handling the bulk of the running back duties tonight. Perhaps the bell count will see Butler also, and we'll bring to you along the changes that were made during the week. One of those changes up front at right tackle, Jasper Parks, 6'6", 315. He gets the start in replace of Jake Griffin. First pass thrown to Ramses Rivera. That's a completion on the far side of the field. A bullet pass from the D-train. Darren Smith to Ramses Rivera, his favorite target on the year. 11th reception of the season for Ramses Rivera. That'll move the sticks, James Poovey.
Yes, nice job converting that first down there for Red Mountain. And you mentioned Jasper Parks getting the start here tonight. He was very impressive in Summer League ball during the Big Man Challenge, and he's going to be a stalwart and a mainstay on the offensive line for Red Mountain.
First and 10 for the 25-yard line. Double move going towards the end zone. Ball's going to be caught on the 1-yard line by Zach Molina. Molina was suspended last week due to an infraction and altercation against Cesar Chavez. But on that game against Chavez, Molina had 5 receptions for 50 yards, and Darren Smith found his slot receiver once again doing work in the middle of the field.
Yeah, nice pass protection up front there as well for Red Mountain.
First and goal to go. Mount Lions for the 1-yard line. Smith will give it up to Georgie Ramirez. He'll leap over the line of scrimmage, and he'll tumble into the end zone for a touchdown. Pater pops, touchdown, Mount Lions. Georgie Ramirez.
Yes, just a nice quick hitter there off the right guard. Francisco Salcedo paving the way up front there for Red Mountain, and Georgie Ramirez plunging into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night.
Let's get saucy. Francisco Salcedo with a sack on the previous drive defensively, and this time road grading for that Georgie Ramirez touchdown. A good snap, a good hold, and the 1-point conversion attempt is good. Garrett Strell back as the holder. Nice job for the backup quarterback. We've got the splitter, and we're going to take a pause in the action. You're watching Red Mountain Football on YouTube. Check 1, 2. Bing. This will be Connor Gardner from the 40-yard line. Swings that right leg through it. End over end kick, and it's going to tumble out of bounds on the far side. That ball went inside the 10-yard line and out of bounds on the far side. That'll be a procedure penalty assessed to Red Mountain. So Dobson will begin their second offensive possession of the night, trailing 7-0 here, 8:36 to go. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Boovy on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Red Mountain fell last week on the road at Perry. They lost 35-19, and for Red Mountain, it was really a tough game. They weren't able to stop the run, and that is something that Kyle Enders has taken a lot of pride in, Coach Mike Peterson as well. They don't give up 100-yard rushers. Last week they gave up 3, and that is just not customary for Red Mountain football. So it'll be Sarl from his own 35-yard line. I formation. He's going to run a draw this time, and it looks like it is his main ball carrier. That's Duarte. Duarte is a 4-year starter for Pete Walhelm, and shows you some wiggle right there, a little speed, and really took that crease, James, and went right up the middle, then got that extra yardage once he got into the secondary. That's a 12-yard carry. 1st and 10 for Dobson. Nice run, their best play of the night.
Yeah, definitely a best play of the night. Nice job running the football there. Looked to bounce that one outside, but he saw the cutback lane, a little bit of a crease there, hit it hard, and was able to make a couple more moves in the middle to pick up a nice chunk of yardage there for the Mustangs.
Sarl under center in the I formation. He'll give it to the fullback this time, and he'll sneak right through the line of scrimmage, running off that right guard, and he's able to squirt through for about a 4-yard carry.
Once again, 74, Francisco Salcedo on the stop there for Red Mountain, doing a nice job of standing his ground, square hitting his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, and taking down the ball carrier. It looks like Dobson is going to try to ground and pound here all night long on Red Mountain.
Jake Griffin starts up front on that left side. Alexander Randall, Francisco Salcedo. Kumi will not start tonight, but you will see plenty of him this evening. Sarl again under center at the 49-yard line of Red Mountain. A backwards pass to Duarte, makes the reception, and he does a little dance at midfield. They're going to stand him up at the 50-yard line. And a whole plethora of tacklers came there to converge on the ball carrier, led by Isaac Thompson and double deuces Georgie Ramirez. They were the first ones to get there to make that stop.
Yeah, it was a great job that time. Number 6, Isaac Thompson, fighting to the outside, keeping outside contained, keeping his outside shoulder free, and ultimately able to make that play there for Red Mountain's defense. Nice job.
Dobson set up with a 3rd and 9 from the 48-yard line of Dobson. There goes the man in motion. Sarl under center again. Play fake, has time, throws down the middle of the field looking for a target, and there is all kinds of activity on the wide receiver, and it looked like the defensive back was draped all over the wide receiver that time, and going out on that route was Brandon Thibodeau. Thibodeau, 5'9", 155, doesn't have the stature and size of a typical wide receiver, but he showed you a little bit of speed on that play.
Yeah, he was open. He had his man beat there, but unfortunately for Red Mountain, number 22, George Ramirez on coverage there, and had a little bit of jersey in his hand there, and unfortunately the ref saw that and dropped the laundry on the field.
Just a little bit of a tug there, but it was just enough to get his hand caught in the cookie jar. As we begin play tonight here at Dobson High School, it is currently 101 degrees, and I can tell you tonight it is a sultry 101. So pass interference assessed to Red Mountain in the secondary, and that'll move the sticks, and that will give Sarl a 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of Red Mountain. A little misdirection. They go back to Duarte, and the first guy to have a chance at him was the baby thumper, Braden Jansen. Alexander Randall down low to wrap up the tackler, Damian Duarte.
Yeah, so used to seeing Joey Sanchez in that familiar Red Mountain number 9 there, but a nice job Braden Jansen coming up and laying the lick for the Red Mountain defense that time, and they're holding Dobson back here except for that penalty. They've had a pretty decent drive so far on defense.
Duarte, the leading rusher for the Dobson Mustangs, 112 yards. He has 4 touchdowns on 22 carries. He's been very efficient with the rock, and now before the snap, we're going to get movement on the right side. You can see Francisco Saucedo jumping on that left side of the line of scrimmage for that front 4 for Coach Anders' defense. And the preliminary indication, James, is a procedure call assessed to the Dobson Mustangs. So that'll change their play call. Darren Smith, a wide receiver, has checked in, 6'2", 205. 7-0, Red Mountain on a 1-yard touchdown run by Georgie Ramirez to open the scoring. 5:50 to go first quarter. 4 wide receiver package here for Nicholas Sarl. Back to throw. He throws to the right side, and the ball is nearly intercepted. And Braden Jansen was right there to defend that pass play. I beg your pardon. They look so similar. That was Isaac Thompson, and Isaac Thompson nearly had an interception. And for Ike, he has 3 turnovers in 3 games. 2 interceptions, and last week had a fumble recovery. So number 6 getting it done out of one of those linebacker positions for Red Mountain. Now we're going to get a timeout taken on the field. Good
yeah,
time
Isaac Thompson, great coverage that time there on the field side. And he had nothing but green grass in front of him. If he was able to pick that one off, he'd love to have that one back because he almost had it.
Tonight's AIA officiating crew, the referee this evening is Bill McCain. Our umpire is Brian Dowell. The head linesman is Jay Wagner. Justin Filmer is the line judge, and Ken Fieldhouse is the back judge. Back to live action we go. This is Sarl on the run. He throws behind his intended target. So Sarl trying to get the ball into the hands of number 36 that time. And number 36, of course, is not on the roster. That's the first time tonight that has happened, and it has been consistent each and every week. James, we've had some sort of a roster infraction.
It has been, and this is we'll consider this a public service announcement. Any coaches out there, make sure and get your rosters updated, as it does help us to be able to recognize the kids and reward them and, like I said, recognize them for their performance on the field.
A little PSA there, James Poovey. This is Riley Anderson. And Anderson boots one over the head of Zach Molina, and that's going to bounce at the 1 and carry right on into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So when play resumes, Red Mountain will have the football back, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And James, on that first drive, you saw a little bit of the balance that we talked about, a little run game, and then you saw Darren Smith open up the pass game and threw the ball down the field once to Zach Molina. That set up that touchdown run by Georgie Ramirez, but it was the pass out on the flat to Ramses Rivera that moved the sticks.
Yeah, it was a great job, Darren Smith. Look for him to get back in some confidence here tonight after last week's game. And look for Red Mountain to take a number of shots here on this Dobson secondary tonight.
Smith out of the pistol formation. Georgie Ramirez behind him. Back to throw. Rivera is streaking down the sideline, and the ball is overthrown. Ramses Rivera had his man beat by 8 yards. The closest defender was on the 50-yard line. And unfortunately for Rivera, he's just too fast. And for Smith, he just missed the route that time.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, but a nice job of route running that time. Look for them to go back to the well on that one, maybe even switch it up and take it to the other side of the field. That was open all day.
You will see that with some regularity here tonight. Carter Wheat in motion. The lone setback is Ramirez. He gets the football, goes up the middle with some speed to the outside, and he's going to be tackled around the 36-yard line, but not before he busts off a 16-yard run. Georgie Ramirez, how about that fleet of foot scat back run?
Yeah, that was a great job there, Georgie Ramirez, but that all started up front from the motion man. Carter Wheat coming in motion. He was able to get back across the line of scrimmage, dig out that defensive end, and open up a massive hole there for Georgie Ramirez to run roughshod through for Red Mountain. Another first down for the Lions.
The Mountain Lions, total yards, 1,099 before play tonight, 11th in the 6A conference. Out of the gun, it's Smith over the middle, caught in stride by Zach Molina. Makes a move to the outside to the 40. 35-30, it's going to be wrestled out of bounds on the far sideline. Late penalty marker comes flying in, and that is an excellent throw by Darren Smith. And how about the route by Zach Molina?
Nice crossing route coming over the middle there for Zach Molina. Darren Smith, excellent job setting his feet and delivering the football in stride. There's a penalty flag on the field. It could be a block in the back on Carter Wheat, as he had plenty of room there trying to stock block a little bit on the edge. We'll see what they call.
Unofficially, a gain of 39 yards from Darren Smith to Zach Molina. And a little yak for Zemo after that, a little yards after the catch. But on the run out of bounds, the penalty marker, a hold assessed to Red Mountain, so that's going to move him back just a little bit. The indication was a delay of game, and that's clearly not the... Oh, it could have been. Perhaps it was. Smith to the air again, fires far side, complete. And as he tumbled to the ground, Carter Wheat lost the football. Number 46 for the Dobson Mustangs in the vicinity. There to make the tackle, Shelton Coulter, a linebacker. He's a junior, 5'10", 175. Credit Carter Wheat with a 5-yard reception from Darren Smith. And for a team that likes to run it a little bit, they're coming out with some passing attack here.
Yeah, they're getting great protection up front. That's allowing Darren Smith to set his feet and throw the ball, hit his check down when he needs to.
Darren Smith, all kinds of time. He has a completion on the far side. That is caught by Kalem Reese-Peebles. And as Reese-Peebles makes the reception, as he lands on the ground, he got absolutely pelted by the defensive back. And you might say a defenseless receiver on that particular play. What a throw by Smith. He threw it into a tight window, and what a catch by the Slim Reaper right there. He took a shot.
He did. He stood in tall and made that reception. Unfortunately, left his feet, and that left him into a very defenseless position. That defensive back came over and cleaned him out. We'll hope that he's okay there lying on the field. Got the training staff all around him. But what a reception there on the far side of the football field. We'll hope that he gets up under his own power here very shortly.
The preliminary indication is a personal foul assessed to Dobson, and I can tell you right now, Kalem Reese-Peebles, through the binoculars from the press box here, has not moved. And David Lawson is there over Kalem Reese-Peebles. He's a tough kid, and he made a beautiful catch. And again, as he caught the ball and started to put those feet down, he got rung up. And now he's starting to sit up just a little bit.
Might have just got his bell rung a little bit, Kevin.
The Slim Reaper out there. A nice reception for him. For Reese-Peebles, he's been big play this season. Has a 54-yard touchdown reception. Had another 50-yard reception. And had an 18-yard reception last week. So for Kalem Reese-Peebles, who had just over 100 yards in total yards last year, has already got 100 yards through 3 games this year, and he's up and walking to the sideline, and that's a good sign for Red Mountain football.
Most definitely. Giving out high fives to some teammates and coaches on the sideline. Excellent to see him. We'll hope that we'll see him back in the game here very shortly. But, wow, once again, what a great catch and able to hold on that football. Very, very good.
And it's tough to say on what happened from a defensive-minded point of view, but as a defensive player, he took a shot, and it looked like a clean play, but he was rung up for 15 yards. So it'll be Darren Smith from his own 10-yard line. Back to throw, in and out of the hands of Ramses Rivera.
What is this, the NFL now? They call every single play when you use your head?
So a little too hot to handle for Rivera. A stat that you should know about that has plagued this football team. Going into tonight's game, Red Mountain has registered 13 dropped passes. That is an unlucky 13, if you ask me.
Very.
So it'll be Shaq Daniels to line up to the near side at wide receiver. Shaq is in the ball game at wide receiver, and the Rivera will sit out this play.
Bit of a personnel issue, looks like, on the Red Mountain sideline. They had to go ahead and burn a timeout there, make sure they had the right personnel in for the call.
Connor Gardner will see some time tonight at wide receiver. He'll wear number 25. He's your place kicker and your punter. And looks like Jared Wilson is also suited up, lined up at wide receiver. He's wearing number 14. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
How about Jasper Parks out there, Kevin, number 79?
I just like
That's
the
a
size.
big dude. That's a big dude.
Can't teach the size. 6'6", 315 pounds listed.
Yeah.
He might be every bit of 320 plus. He's a big boy.
He's pretty nimble. He can move those, what have to be size 17 or 18 shoes around out there too.
Going into the season, he would have been deemed as a project, but he had a great camp. And as you mentioned, he really jumped onto the circuit at that ASU camp. Darren Smith to the air with time. Pressure from the backside going toward the end zone, and the ball is going to be in and out of the hands of Connor Gardner. That young man can do a lot of things, and unfortunately on this particular play, he wasn't able to haul that one in, but that was a good throw by Darren Smith. That was right on target.
Yeah, it was right on the money in the corner of the end zone. A little fade route there for Connor Gardner, but unable to haul that one in. He wishes he could have that one back there, as that was a sure 6 points for Red Mountain.
So it'll be a 3rd and goal to go situation for the Mountain Lions. 3 wide receiver package. Molina is in the slot. Rivera to the near side on a play fake. Over the middle, the ball is incomplete. Darren Smith, perhaps just a little bit too antsy on that particular pass play, trying to go over the middle, looking for number 14, Jared Wilson, and unable to connect that time on 3rd down. So Mike Peterson will send on Connor Gardner, or maybe Connor Gardner will stay on the field in this case, and he'll line up to kick what would appear to be a 27-yard field goal attempt. Ball spotted on the 10. Line of scrimmage at the 10. He'll kick it. Angle from the left hash, and it's a good snap and a good hold, and it's a line drive kick, and he buries it. From 27 yards away, Connor Gardner kicks his 4th field goal of the year. And at the 3:27 mark of the opening quarter from Dobson High School, the Mountain Lions have grown their lead to 10-0. Nice job right there on the offensive series. Left a couple plays out there, dropped some more passes, but they're moving the football tonight.
They are, and moving it efficiently too, Kevin. They're able to take a couple shots down the field. As you mentioned, a couple more of those would have been completed, but they're also able to run the rock when they need to. And so far, the offensive coordinators for Red Mountain have to be pleased with the effort here this evening.
Tabor Lamar, Chris Andriana, co-coordinators. Tabor Lamar with an opportunity to call a few extra plays here tonight. Offense in 3 possessions has 2 scoring drives. Here comes Connor Gardner, getting ball teed up in the middle of the 40-yard line, and he swings that right leg through, and this time he drills it into the end zone. That's the kick that we've accustomed to be seeing here in the first couple of weeks by Connor Gardner, the junior playing wide receiver. Now that drop pass total's up to 15 with the 2 more on that drive, and it's just a shame they've left a touchdown on the scoreboard right there.
Yeah, could have put 6 more up on the board, made it 13-0 early in the first quarter here, late in the first quarter, but left that one on the field. So let's look for a good defensive stand here from Red Mountain. And if you're Dobson, you want to try to get something going on offense, maybe get it down the field, kick it through the uprights, or get some kind of points on the board here in this drive.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line will be Nicholas Sarl once again at quarterback. And the pistol this time. They run that jet sweep with the ball, and then getting drilled in the backfield was number 3. The penetration from the front 4 from Red Mountain, too much. Isaac Dobson, and the first man to get up off that pile was Alexander Randall, AR, He's got his motor running tonight. That's a big-time defensive play there, stuffing the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, an excellent job there for Red Mountain's defense. No gain on that play. And excellent rush up from those front four. They are wreaking havoc on that offensive line for Dobson tonight.
Michael Gundersdorf denied any yardage. This will be Sorrell under center. He'll turn around and give it to his fullback, and his fullback will just march straight ahead and try to drive the pile with him, but he'll drive that pile for a yard, maybe two, and that's about it. Francisco Saucedo, Braden Jansen, and Major Kelly all there simultaneously for the stop for Red Mountain.
Dobson so far all about the quick hitters here tonight. Quarterback tight up underneath the center, and the quick handoffs trying to get a push up front and move that defensive line back for Red Mountain before they have a chance to dig in and penetrate through.
Sorrell is a senior, 6 foot, 188. Alan Ortega is checked into the ball game. 4 wide receiver package for Sorrell. Good snap, looking left all the way. Throws, the ball is caught in stride at the 45-yard line and taking it out across midfield and still on his feet into Red Mountain territory on the 40-yard line was their flanker, number 28, Aiden Graziano. Double check that number.
Looks like that was 24 Alan Ortega on that one coming across for Dobson. Nice job receiving that ball right about midfield and carried a pile with him about 10 extra yards. Unfortunately, that's going to come back and be all for naught.
I had just mentioned that Ortega had checked into the ball game, and they went right to him. So that was a great throw by Sorrell, right on the money. And again, with that run after catch for Ortega, but all for naught. That negated a big-time play for the Dobson Mustangs. A 40-yard play there, taken off the books. Checking in for Pete Walhelm's team, number 6, Xavier Jimenez. 10-0, 1:50 to go, first quarter from Dobson High School. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Pooley on the Red Mountain Football Network. 3rd and 15 for Sorrell. 4 wide receivers for the senior quarterback. Long count, low snap, back to throw. Has time, steps up in the pocket, he's going to go down, he's sacked. He was sacked on the play by Alexander Randall. And AR has got the motor running. Let's go ahead and set you up. Keys to the game against Dobson. On defense, stop and stuff the run. Stay on task and follow your assignments. About getting back to the basics tonight, James. They need to make tackles, wrap up in space, and just play sound, fundamental football. That's what they're trying to do on the defensive side, and then stay disciplined. On the offense, get back to the basics up front, hat on a hat. Return of the run game, get aligned, stay disciplined on offense. We're going to get the ball right back. Another penalty marker is thrown here. But the impact players, our funnest part, the picks to click. Before tonight's game, we typed it up. I went with Georgie Ramirez, Alexander Randall, and Darren Smith to Ramses Rivera. Stay hot, that particular combination. Ramses Rivera has scored a touchdown in 3 consecutive games.
Yeah, he's been a juggernaut here lately for the Red Mountain offense.
Punting from his own end zone. This is Molina from the 35-yard line. Splits the D. Molina on his feet, and he's going to be tripped up inside the red zone. Grabbing and making a nice special teams tackle there for Dobson. It might have been their kicker, Riley Anderson, the punter. We talked to Riley before the ball game. He was not on the Max Preps roster. We discussed it with him, told him to mention it to his head coach, Pete Walheim, and what did he do? 30 seconds later, he goes right up to Pete Walheim and gives him that word, and I had to apologize to Pete, saying we set him up for that. We had some fun with him. Pete a little intense before tonight's ball game, but nice conversation with Pete. He's doing a fine job here in really adverse conditions. But these kids need a good coach, and they've got one in Pete Walheim. The records and the wins, they won't be there, but the idea is building people. This is Ramirez, tries to start outside, cut it back inside, and he's going to be grabbed and tackled to the ground. For Dobson, number 38 came up there to grab the ball carrier, Georgie Ramirez. That's Pierre McNeil. And on that angle run to the right side, Georgie Ramirez picks up 5 yards, and this might be the final play of the opening quarter. Let's see if Red Mountain will snap the ball. Again, set up shop on the far side of the field as Jared Wilson lined up at wide receiver. He's got one-on-one coverage. Darren Smith under center. There goes Carter Wheat in motion. And quarter number 1 is going to expire. The first 12 minutes in the books from Dobson High School. We'll step aside. Our score, Red Mountain 10, Dobson 0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Network. Back to live action here from Dobson High School. Second quarter set to commence. Rivera to the near side. Double move going for Rivera on the end zone. He turns and he can't haul it in. Darren Smith to the back of the end zone for Ramses Rivera. Excellent coverage there by number 23, it looks like.
That was 24 on that one. Once again, Alan Ortega on defense there for Dobson. Had excellent position on Ramses Rivera in the corner of the end zone, kind of boxing him out there as they approach the end line. And a nice defensive play there for the Mustangs.
Ramirez deep. Penalty marker up front, so this play is halted. Dobson wearing their home blue pants with their home gray jerseys. Blue numbers trimmed in white. But for whatever reason, it's been difficult to pick out Alan Ortega. And I'll tell you why. He's 5'4", 125 pounds. You can actually lose that young man on the field. He's out on an island by himself right now. He's got the responsibility of taking on Ramses Rivera. This is a slant right here for a touchdown if they want it. They run it to Ramirez. He bolts right up the middle, and he's going to just steamroll right in for a touchdown. Georgie Ramirez, 11 yards to Pater. Pater pops, touchdown, Red Mountain. That is Ramirez's second touchdown of the night.
Once again up front, Costin Cooley and Francisco Salcedo paving the way there for Georgie Ramirez, just plunging ahead and with ease, punching it in the end zone for yet another Red Mountain Lions score.
Impact player, Georgie Ramirez, second touchdown of the night. Extra point upcoming here for Connor Gardner. Good snap and a good hold. Here comes the rush by Dobson, and Connor Gardner splits the uprights. 11:42 remaining in the contest. Our score, Red Mountain 17, Dobson 0. And James, they wanted to get Darren Smith going, and it's been a challenge to get this young man going for whatever reason. But the run game is there, and Georgie Ramirez is a special player, and you show why he is so special with that speed and just the fact that he's got no deny, no quit in him. The surge to the goal line, touchdown again.
Yeah, he hits the hole very hard, and it helps that his offensive linemen are clearing it out for him, but he's always approaching the line of scrimmage with a great pad level and able to lower his shoulder and deliver a bit of a blow if necessary. He's not a very big guy, but he runs a lot bigger, and he knows how to run behind his pads, which is very critical. And talking about Darren Smith, getting him going, if they keep that run game going, as we well know, that will definitely open up the passing game. You'll see a lot more shots down the field from Red Mountain's offense.
Hunter Shorts deep to receive for the Dobson Mustangs. Connor Gardner once again, ball set up in between the hash marks at the 40-yard line. And he pooches one to the left side. It's a high end-over-end kick. The ball's free. It's on the ground, and coming up to secure that football was the return man. That was Hunter Shorts. He's a two-way player, and nice job to come up and get that football and give the Dobson Mustangs a chance to have an offensive series here.
Yeah, very heady play there for Shorts. And if you notice, number 5, Shaq Daniels, was hot on his trails trying to come up and get that football. But heads-up play there for Shorts and the Mustangs.
Shaq Daniels has a nose for the football, an excellent special teams player, blocked a couple of kicks last year. And we've seen him get after the football again this year. So it'll be Sarl again at quarterback. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 backs behind him. There goes the wideout in motion. That's number 80, Eric Fluker. This will be Sarl on a handoff to Fluker on the jet sweep, and he'll go nowhere. Coming up to take the legs out of the ball carrier, Isaac Dobson. IT coming up there making a nice play there and some run support.
Yeah, nobody up front was fooled that time. The offensive lineman tried to cross face, but the defensive lineman stood his ground there, was able to rip through and make the play in the backfield. Excellent job.
Great point. You see Jake Griffin right there in the trenches just taking on his man, holding him up, and then Ike Thompson comes in there and sweeps over the play. Excellent job there. 2nd and 10 now upcoming here for Sarl. 4 wide receiver package this time. Takes the shotgun snap, looking left all the way. Throws. Here comes the pressure, and the ball is going to be incomplete. He threw into double coverage. Headhunting over there with Braden Jansen and Evan Alpta. Coming out of the backfield was Damian Duarte. Duarte does everything. I mentioned he was been a starter since he's been a freshman here at Dobson. Quarterback, running back, plays some strong safety. And in just his 2nd year, he has a chance to be a special player.
Impressive, impressive. And impressive as well as number 76, Costin Cooley, Ironman football tonight for Red Mountain. He was the one that put the pressure on the quarterback in that last play. Excellent job getting through there.
3rd and 10, 4-man front for Red Mountain. Sarl back to throw, steps up in the pocket, delivers, and it's incomplete. Trying to throw down the far side of the field, going for Ortega on the hash marks. He fires incomplete again, and for Dobson, another 3 and out for them. And for Red Mountain, their defense is licking their chops right now. They're starting to feel it a little bit here.
They are, and that 3 and out is courtesy once again there. Number 76, Costin Cooley, along with 54, Jake Griffin getting in there, and they met each other at the quarterback and delivered a blow. Excellent job there for Red Mountain's defense.
So Zach Molina will set up on the 50-yard line, right on top of the emblazoned logo here, right on top of the D. Georgie Ramirez also back deep here for Riley Anderson, the punter. It's a low snap. Anderson puts it up in the air. It's a good punt. Angle to the right side. Caught in the air by Molina. Molina's trying to spin out of a tackler, and they're just going to wrestle him all the way to the ground. Very similar play of what got him tossed at Cesar Chavez. So ball security for Molina. He's going to be stopped on the 48-yard line.
Brandon Thibodeau in on the stop there for Dobson Mustangs. Nice job coming up and playing the special teams. Let's talk about Zach Molina for a second. How much did they miss him last week, Kevin? He's made a couple of good plays here tonight. He might have been a difference maker last week.
They missed him 3 ways. They missed him on offense, they missed him on defense, and they missed him in the room. They missed him in the room. He's a good player, good heady kid, makes good decisions. 4 wide receivers. Make it 3. Ramirez. It's caught in the backfield. This is Butler. And Butler makes the reception. And a nice bit of running for some extra effort right there. Daniel Butler on the receiving end of that Darren Smith pass.
Nice
you see
job.
a lot of different new guys here tonight.
Yeah, Butler getting into the action here as well for the Mountain Lions. A little swing pass there from Smith, able to swing it out there, and very nice job eluding a couple of tacklers and picking up some yardage there for Red Mountain.
Gain of 4. Molina in the slot. 3 wide receiver package. Shotgun snap. Smith stands in the pocket, delivers a strike, and it's dropped by Zach Molina. Tough break right there. That was another beautiful ball by Darren Smith. Just a tight spiral, and it was right out in front. If Molina catches that ball, he might make one move and slither his way into the end zone there, but you got to catch the rock first. Another drop pass.
Got to catch the football. Excellent pocket protection up front for Darren Smith.
That's the 3rd drop ball of the night. Smith again from the gun. Fires a strike to Ramses Herrera. Makes a move at the 35-yard line. Bounces to the outside. Has a blocker. He's going to go up the outside. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Ramses Rivera. 43-yard house call from Darren Smith. The 4th consecutive week that those two have connected. Pater Puff, touchdown, Red Mountain.
How about Ramses Rivera coming out of the slot here on the near side of the football field, running a crossing route. Darren Smith once again excellent pass protection up front, able to deliver the ball on time. Ramses Rivera had a defender right in his face, able to slip him, get out to the outside, and the Rocket was gone.
And the blocks downfield on the far side of the field that sprung Ramses Rivera. Credit the fellas.
Outstanding.
Guys getting it done on that receiving squad. Jared Wilson, Zach Molina. And at the double check, I think Carter Wheat was down there mixing things up, but Rivera again in space. He is deadly. His 4th touchdown reception of the year. That is one heck of a passing combination. Darren Smith to Ramses Rivera, a.k.a. the Rocket.
He got to the outside there and started pumping those arms, switched the football over to the right hand, and he was out the gate, Kevin.
Connor Gardner with the 1-point conversion attempt. It's good. 10 minutes remaining in this second quarter on a very quiet crowd here from Dobson High School. Red Mountain 24. The Mustangs from Dobson 0. We'll step aside for this station identification break.
You're watching Red Mountain football on Red Mountain TV.
Connor Gardner back on the field. He's having a night's work. They'll pooch it again down the middle of the field. The ball is fumbled. And falling to the ground was the return man, number 5 for Dobson. That was Jamal Bavalian. B-E-V-A-L-I-A-N. Jamal Bavalian, a junior, 5'10". Plays running back, some outside linebacker. So Jarquell Garner did not suit tonight. Jesus Vasquez did not suit tonight. Anthony Giraldi did not suit. I talked to AG before the ball game, and you talk about a kid that's ready to play right now. He's not dressed out, but you would have thought that he had his pads and helmet on by the way we were talking before the game. He's an intense kid, but he wants to get out here. I think you'll see Giraldi back on the field here in a couple of weeks. So it'll be Sorrow now trailing 24-0. Back to throw. It's Sorrow. Want to set up a screen to the backside. They set up a screen over the middle, and they'll pick up a couple yards on it. But snuffing that play out right away was Shaq Daniels, Alexander Randall, and Francis Kumi now finally in the ball game and playing a little defense.
Yeah, credit to defensive line coach Matt Kelly there, getting his guys ready to play tonight. They're running up and down the line of scrimmage here tonight on this kind of a wing tee type of offense that Dobson's throwing out here. A lot of in-tight stuff, trying to keep it between the tackles as much as they can. But Red Mountain's defensive line doing a great job of having a counter with that.
I formation for Sorrow under center now. 2nd and 2 on a draw. They run it, and there's nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go for the ball carrier. Francis Kumi was up there, and also there, making a play in the middle was number 55. And, of course, James, you got 55. Double fives up there, double nickels.
I do not have a double 5, sir.
Shocker. Better read that PSA to your Red Mountain coaching staff, my friend.
We might have to go over that one more time in the second half, huh?
We could probably check in with some people, find out who number 55 is. Red Mountain is +4 in the takeaway department. They have 11 turnovers, and they've given up the rock 7 times. So this will be a 3rd and 8 possession play. Searle on the rollout, wants to throw, throws on the run, throws the deep ball, and the ball is going to be incomplete. He threw in a double coverage. Defensively for Red Mountain, Tanner Goodchild and Georgie Ramirez. And the intended target that time for the Dobson Mustangs was Xavier Jimenez. Good arm strength there from Sarro, but he threw into double coverage, and it was going to be difficult to complete that pass.
Yeah, too much traffic there to throw into, especially with those DBs prowling that area there on the near side of the field. But he tried to force that one in there and make something happen for his football team. But unfortunately for Dobson, a 4th down and long upcoming here. I
spoke to freshman coach Leo Aviles during the week, and he told me that at one point their freshmen were leading Dobson, was it 60-0 or 67-0? And usually we go over some stats, and things like that, but he just said this was just an uneven affair.
Yeah.
And you could see that. And right now you can see in defense of the Dobson Mustangs, they're going to battle on Friday nights. Pete Walhelm is going to coach these guys up, but they just don't have the talent. They're about 10 guys away from competing, and that's a lot of bodies. That's a big number. And Red Mountain is just flourishing in numbers at all three levels of their programs. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of depth, and you can see already with 8:18 to go, they lead it 24-0. And we kind of joked before the game, really, in all due respect, that this could be an AIA running clock type contest just by what we know going into the game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Dobson a bit overmatched here tonight, but like you said, they are going to scrap. They are going to fight, and they're going to do everything they can here to make it respectable. Even though it is 24-0 right now, they will not quit, that's for sure. But Red Mountain is a lot to handle right now for this Dobson Mustang team.
Red Mountain licking their chops after getting beat up by the Perry Pumas. The Pumas took out the Mountain Lions, and now you got the Mountain Lions taking advantage of the Mustangs. This is another punt angle to the right side, and Riley Anderson does a nice job. If nothing else, they're going to kick it away from Zach Molina, and their special teams is doing a good job here.
Yeah, that was a great job of the kick there, able to angle it away from Molina. He was trailing it there, caught it as he approached the sideline, but no chance for a return on that one for Zach Molina.
You will see Garrett Strail at some point tonight. Strail had that bum wheel, but he is back in action, and he is the holder tonight. So, again, getting some extended playing time tonight is wide receiver Jared Wilson. He's a target, is Wilson. 6 foot 145. Darren Smith back to the air. He throws. The ball is complete to Jared Wilson. And that's the first catch of the varsity career of Jared Wilson. And Darren Smith threw an absolute strike where only Wilson could haul that one in. Nice play.
Yeah, nice job. Excellent position there, running that route. And number 24 in coverage for Dobson, Alan Ortega. Nice job. Nice effort there from the defense, but unfortunately a great pass from Darren Smith and right on target for another Red Mountain first down.
Unofficially a gain of 22 yards, 1st and 10. Red Mountain, full wide receiver package for Smith, out of the gun, has time, delivers, and the ball is incomplete. You had two guys running the same route, number 99, Carter Wheat, and number 16, Jackson Beecher, all in the same area. And James, look at Jackson Beecher, 6'2", 170. Jared Wilson, 6 foot 140. You got some guys that are 6 foot and above. That's the kind of size and speed you want on your wide receiver group.
Definitely, yeah. Big targets, able to stand out in a crowd and be a big target for Darren Smith.
They go to the ground, and this time it's Butler. Butler totes the rock for the first time tonight. Number 34, Jared Butler, the sophomore, 5'8", 150. Nice little run for him.
One thing I didn't understand about that last play there, Kevin, both those receivers running the same route down the field, but neither one of them looked for the football.
Quick tempo, they go back to Butler on the student body right. Hesitates. Now he tries to get out to the line to gain, and they're going to take his legs right out. So nice defense that time for the Dobson Mustangs, James.
Yes, Damian Duarte on the coverage there. It looked like he was a little slow to get up, but nice job trailing that play and bringing him down from behind.
Duarte, a two-way stud. He's their best player. He wears number 11. This is a 4th and 2. Possession play here. George Ramirez flanked to the left of Darren Smith. They want to throw for the first down. They dump it out into the flat to Ramirez. Has some blockers in front of him. 30, 20, looking for space. 10, 5, and he'll coast into the end zone for a touchdown. A 35-yard pass reception, a catch and run from Darren Smith to Georgie Ramirez. Pater pops, touchdown, Red Mountain. That's touchdown number 3 for Double Deuces.
Yeah, they're on a roll here tonight, and so is Georgie Ramirez. Excellent job. He had a convoy of blockers on the field, including number 99, Carter Wheat, able to assist on the play there and put another one up on the scoreboard for Red Mountain.
That was too easy. Darren Smith to Georgie Ramirez. His 3rd touchdown of the night. Good snap. And a good hole. Then Connor Gardner drills another PAT. 6:43 to go till halftime from Dobson High School. Our score, Red Mountain 31, Dobson 0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Network. 31-0. Dobson getting taken out to the woodshed here tonight, and the Mountain Lions feasting on the Mustangs here. Darren Smith having himself a ball game, but Georgie Ramirez, a breakout offensive night. Since Georgie Ramirez has put on the helmet here at Red Mountain High School, he's been the consummate teammate. They've asked him to play defense. They've asked him to play linebacker. He made his debut in the playoffs last year against Horizon, had 9 tackles. He's just made plays since he's been a varsity player here for Red Mountain.
Yeah, he's been all over the field for Red Mountain, and a freshman All-American was Georgie Ramirez last year, and much to his credit because he's played very well, and he continues to do so here into his sophomore season.
Hunter Shorts takes that one a yard deep into the end zone. That will be a touchback. See, tonight they call it a touchback. At the Perry game, guys would carry the ball into the end zone on the kickoffs, and they let them bring it out. Found that to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Typically, anytime you step into the end zone or the ball is touched near the goal line as a dead ball, they'll move it out to the 20. So Red Mountain defense led by their defensive coordinator, Kyle Enders. They're pitching a shutout here tonight. And this is the 3rd road game of the year for Red Mountain. And Dobson wants to run the ball. They run it up the middle on a delay, and the defense is ferocious. They're out there popping people, and they're losing helmets. The baby thumper delivering the blows there. No, man, check it again. Every time I think it's the baby thumper, you got to look twice because Isaac Thompson is right there. And you talk about the size of Braden Jansen, 5'7", 145, and for Isaac Thompson, he too, in that same stature, 5'7", 170. They're both similar players, but both pack a punch.
Yeah, they play much bigger than that, though.
Much bigger. Sarl faces a 2nd and 10 from his own 20-yard line. A quick wide receiver screen. They make the reception, and missing a tackle there was Red Mountain, but working his way up the sidelines, and he'll run right into Alexander Randall and Major Kelly right there with the tackles for Red Mountain.
Yeah, number 5, Shaq Daniels, first one to meet the ball carrier there, did a nice job. He tried to strip the ball, but missed the tackle in the process, but AR came up and cleaned it up there very shortly afterward.
Xavier Jimenez with the reception on that one, give him a gain of 6. You know, in this type of game, you can take chances like that, but I like that stay disciplined idea, and this is a game where you can learn how to stay disciplined. Read your key, stay in your lanes, do your thing.
Alignment and assignment.
Full wide receiver package. Sarl to the air. He throws the ball, picked off by Evan Olmsted down the sideline, looking for a block, and he's going to get drilled on the far sideline. Correction, near sideline, and that was Evan Olmsted with the interception. On the return, you can see some frustration setting in for the Dobson Mustangs as their big fella wanted to take a shot at anybody. It didn't matter who it was going to be, but Jack Croy wanted to deliver a lick to somebody 6'3", 220. He delivered a lick to Red Mountain, and he got caught.
Looks like it's going against Red Mountain.
I stand corrected right here.
Wow.
So we'll take that, and
so will the Dobson faithful.
Let's make sure that we give credit where credit's due. I thought Jack Croy was seeking some retaliation right there, and instead maybe he took the brunt of that foul there. So Garrett Strill in the game at quarterback on a double move pump fake, looking for Rivera. He's open, and he drops the football on the 11-yard line. Wow. Nice pump fake there by Garrett Strill on the double move, streaking down the sideline. Ramses Rivera had a touchdown pass in his hands and couldn't corral it.
Yeah, he did. Nice job, Garrett Strill, getting the ball down the field. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far outside, and Rivera not able to adjust and haul that one in.
I asked Coach Peterson how they're addressing those challenges with drop balls, and they're working on it. In fact, if you drop a ball in practice, you're going to do some fingertip push-ups. How about 10 more for Rivera on that one? They go to Butler on the ground on a sweep up the middle, shakes off a tackler, gets belted at the 30-yard line, and tries to spin off that tackler and fall forward for the first down. That's a nice 11-yard run right there by Butler.
Yeah, excellent job there, paving the way up front, the offensive line for Red Mountain. And, wow. couple of injuries now on the field for the Dobson Mustangs. Unfortunately, it looks like number 56 or 58 is down, and we can't see the other one at this point.
56 and 81. 81 is Logan Lugers. He's one of their guards, 5'11", 210. He is in some discomfort. You're talking about two Mustang players down within a yard from one another. The other player is number 56. That's Isaac Porter, their starting defensive tackle. He's 6'3", 280. When you just talk about the size of just those two kids right there, you know that P. Wilhelm can ill afford to lose any more bodies.
Yeah, he needs to keep those big guys fresh and healthy, and they need to be able to get something going, help this Dobson offense maybe get some points on the board here before the half is over with.
4:51 to go till halftime. We'll step aside with this pause in the action. We'll look to see about these injuries for the Mustangs. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Network. Back after this brief timeout. Back with you from Dobson High School, Kevin Derryberry with James Poovey. Unfortunately for the Dobson Mustangs, the big fella, number 81, Logan Lugers, does not look like he's going to be able to return. It looks like a lower right leg injury. Strail to the air, fires. The ball is caught. Far sideline, foot race, and he's going to be hauled in and dropped down inside the 5-yard line on the far side of the field. That is a new wide receiver target for the Mountain Lions. That is number 10, Javon Ivy. Ivy is also 6 foot 150. 3 new receivers making their debuts here tonight at the varsity level have all made receptions, and they're all 6 foot and above.
Wow. You got to feel good about that if you're, Garrett Strail in this case, but also Darren Smith with the amount of talent at the wide receiver position.
They give it to Butler. He starts right, and he lunges towards the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown. Jared Butler, with his first varsity touchdown of his young career, is in the end zone. Pater Pops touchdown, Mountain Lions.
Once again, it all starts up front, paving the way. That time was Charlie Ola from the left guard position. He bounced open that 2-hole, and nothing but green grass there for the Red Mountain running back, and he puts it in the end zone.
Jared Butler, the sophomore, 5'8", 150, scores his first touchdown. Good snap and a good hold, and Connor Gardner buries the extra point. 4:27 to go till halftime from Dobson High School. Our score, Red Mountain 38, Dobson 0. My, they're putting a thumping on here tonight, and you kind of anticipated this. They played the Perry Pumas last week. We talked about that game a little bit on the line stand and throughout the week. It's a 35-19 score. At one point, Red Mountain had a chance to tie the game in the second half at 21-21. You look at the other side of the coin, Perry fumbled the ball 3 times. They turned it over 3 or 4 times themselves. It could have been a boat race the other side. So either way you look at it, the game was close, but it really wasn't that close. Perry won that game handily.
Yeah, Perry, like you said, a couple of gifts throughout that ball game with the turnovers there, but Red Mountain had a number of chances to exercise their will, if you will, and get something done during that game last week, but unfortunately came up short, and they are taking the revenge out here tonight at Dobson.
Speaking of short, Hunter Shorts is deep to receive this kickoff for Dobson. And joining him is number 6, Xavier Jimenez. Connor Gardner out to kick once again. Ball spotted in the middle of the hash marks at the 40-yard line. And Gardner, this time he drills one deep, end over end, taken by Shorts on an end around. And there's nowhere to go because Hiram Boren is up there hustling, and he makes the special teams tackle right next to Shaq Daniels. What a special teams play that was. The reverse in effect for Dobson, and the reverse was in effect because they went the other direction.
He plays quarterback. He plays special teams. Hiram Bourne, excellent job that time. Tried to get a little reverse going, did Dobson, but no one was fooled. Shaq Daniels right in there along with Hiram Bourne, and they shut that down right away.
It's so interesting when you start to see and play this game with a cerebral approach. Hiram Bourne is a cerebral type kid, and when you can anticipate, you see the play 20 yards up the field, go make a play, young man, and that's what Hiram Bourne just did. And again, Shaq Daniels right there in the vicinity. So Sarl again a quarterback. He has one back behind him. Red Mountain showing blitz. The quarterback turns around, hands it to the tailback, and he's going to be bumped, but he does fight his way forward for about 3, maybe 4 tough yards in there. Carrying the ball for Dobson. Looked like it was the fullback that time.
Yeah, he looked like he was anticipating a straight dive that time. Almost ran right into the quarterback, but the quarterback wanted to give it to him up the 3-hole.
Sunshine Cooney could be back there. Either way, they got a 4-yard carry. 2nd and 6 from their own 10-yard line. So again, under center. They go right back to the ground, that same play, and trying to fight his way for extra yardage is the ball carrier again. And, boy, these guys are tiny. It looks like it's Jack Canderas this time. Canderas, one of the team captains for Dobson, gets a tote. And that was a 4-yard carry, so it'll be a 3rd and 1 from their own 15-yard line. I don't believe Dobson has registered a first down through the offense. They might have gotten one via penalty.
I believe you're right, Kevin. They have not gotten a first down here tonight, but a nice job of approaching the line of scrimmage there for the running back.
They go right back to the ground again, and this time they find enough room to move the sticks. That's a first down run by number 20, Jack Canderas. And Canderas gets back-to-back carries.
5'8", $145, but he is running behind his pads there against that Red Mountain defensive line.
Lower on those pads. Sarl again at quarterback. Sarl 27 of 43, 426 yards. On the air, a couple of touchdowns, 1 interception. Has the ball on his own 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Turns around on a delayed handoff. They run right up the middle, and there's nowhere to go. He was absolutely stonewalled. Alexander Randall was there along with Francisco Saucedo. And also there was the baby thumper, Braden Jansen.
As usual, yes. Nice job by the defensive line for Red Mountain. Alexander Randall saw that. Running back was twitching his hands there as he was setting in the backfield. You could tell he was going to get the ball. And I bet you Alexander Randall saw that and read it the entire way and stoned him right at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job.
I know what you're thinking. Well, he's got a spotter right there. He just tells him in the headset. It's too easy. Yeah, the spotter didn't show up tonight. 2nd and 10. It's Sarl on the play fake. Rolls to the far side. He's going to keep it. He's going to go down. He's going to be sacked. Looked like Jacob Griffin went over and touched him down. And he'll do a high five with Francis Kumi. So Jacob Griffin picks up his sack, his 4th sack of the campaign. And once again, Dobson going the other way.
Yeah, they can't seem to get anything going here on offense. You'd like to see them just get a first down if nothing else. But Red Mountain's defense is not letting off the gas here so far.
38-0. It's been the Georgie Ramirez show here in the first half, and then Jared Butler got in on the act. So 2 players right there, 2 young players in the fold here for Mike Peterson. Get their first varsity touchdowns tonight. That's exciting. So the clock's going to wind all the way down inside 2 minutes at the 1:56 mark. We'll get a timeout there, and we'll take the timeout with them. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Third and 15 from the 15-yard line. Red Mountain showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Now here they come on a delay blitz. Sarl to the air, and he's going to look for his target. He will fall incomplete on the pass play. Tanner Goodchild right there, stride for stride with the coverage on the intended target, Hunter Shorts.
Boy, how about that penetration up front for Red Mountain? They got in there and got it done that time. They put a lick on Sorrow in the backfield, and he was slow to get up after that one.
They showed blitz initially, then they backed out of it, and then it's what you call a zone blitz that came in late, and Sorrow wasn't able to deal with that pressure. And once again, the Red Mountain front four put a thump on the quarterback, Nicholas Sorrow. He's feeling a little sorrow right about now, trailing 38-0. That was just too easy.
Tears of sorrow.
High snap,
Oh.
and here comes trouble. And the punter, Riley Anderson, is going to be sacked for a safety. I'll have to double check that. It looked like Georgie Ramirez. If I had to guess, I'd say all in. That was Georgie Ramirez on the sack safety in the end zone on the punter. Double deuces, having himself a career night here in the first half of this Dobson game.
Yeah, Georgie Ramirez, I tell you what, this is his second year of action at Red Mountain High School, but he is showing out here tonight and doing an excellent job. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time to come for the Mountain Lions.
Before we kick it off, you can't type this at the first quarter and go, all right, here we go.
No, it was pre-printed. I saw it. The number one impact player you had, Georgie Ramirez.
Double deuces, 3 touchdowns.
Representing that number well, too, by the way.
Yes, he is. He just got the deuce right there. We have the puns on Nicholas Sorrell, and now double deuces. Just too easy here this evening.
Shout out to Justin Coleman if you're out there in the listening audience up there in the Great White North.
Lance Lawson made his debut last week for the T-Birds. Had a carry.
A 6-yarder.
6-yard run on a jet sweep. And in fact, Lance Lawson will be in Corvallis tomorrow night. You can watch Lance on the Pac-12 network.
5 o'clock kickoff.
Taking on the Beavers from Oregon State. Here comes Riley Anderson, the place kicker on. His free kick from the 20-yard line after the Red Mountain safety to make it 40-0. This is Molina, far side of the field. He picks it up around the 18-yard line. Full steam ahead to the 30. Makes a move at the 35-yard line. Looking for some help. Gets it down the sideline, and he's going to take it across the 45-yard line to the 46, maybe 47. And here comes a late penalty marker once again. And I think, James, at this point in the game, you're going to see that flag come in late almost every play.
Yeah, frustration setting in for Dobson. They want to make a play, trying to make something happen for their football team, and maybe a bit of John on the far side of the field that time.
The AIA running clock rule is 42. And, there's good and bad with a running clock, James. I think good from a safety perspective. You don't want anybody else to get hurt, but kids do lose quality playing time with that rule.
Sure, yeah, and it's always valuable to get the J's in, the 2s and 3s guys in, and get them some live bullet action.
Smith back to work, fires over the middle of the field, looking for Carter Wheat. And right there to deny Carter Wheat with a defensive play is Damian Duarte. Damian Duarte is a good player. Two-way stud, we've mentioned it before, but that pass just a little bit tardy right there. Clock stop with 1:31 to go to the break, 40-0. He was a breakout player of the year for me. This is Butler in the flat, makes the reception, turns up the field, and is going to be tackled. Standing him up first for the Dobson Mustangs was number 25, Nicholas Martinez. Martinez, a corner, 5'6", 120. Talk about that size again. Just 5'6", 120. That's tough to play this game with so many big hombres out there, but he's a tough young man.
Yeah, credit to these Dobson guys for standing in there against these larger Red Mountain opponents, but they're doing a great job of just staying in there and fighting and battling away.
Clock stop with $1:14 to go. We'll step aside.
I think it has swallowed a mosquito or something.
At one point, I actually felt like a windshield up here with all the darn moths and whatnot up here. Feel like you been on a motorcycle ride driving to California. Just going to have to floss one way or the other here
No
this evening.
doubt.
It's 40-0 with a $1:14 to go till halftime. As usual, each and every time at this juncture of the ball game, we're looking for our halftime guest out into the stands here at Dobson High School and haven't seen one just yet. I've made eye contact with their band instructor, and he kind of looked away at the time I gave him the old thumbs up, are we good for the break? And
are you coming up?
Nothing doing. Riley Anderson won't talk to us. We talked to him before the game.
This guy right here might want to come on and talk about the game a little bit.
Smith to throw. Over the middle of the field, and the ball is dropped by Zach Molina at the 50-yard line. That's at least the 5th drop pass tonight. You're looking at 18 drop passes for the year. I hate to keep piling on that number, but the drops keep coming at an alarming rate.
Yeah, Molina's had 2 tonight. Wheat's had about 2 or 3.
Rivera at least 2. That's
I guess
another
better in this game than in a tight game.
I'm not going with that at all. You got to catch the rock. I mean, I pulled up the no excuse policy here.
No, you're right. Nothing else matters if you don't catch the football. It doesn't matter how good they blocked, how good the throw was.
It was a great throw, and you got to catch that ball. In fact, the Mountain Lion wide receivers are catching the ball, or at least they're all getting in space. Whatever route they're running in the route tree, they are getting open, and they're open by 5 yards. It's not even close.
Yeah, plenty of space.
The slants there, the double moves there, whatever they want to do, they can throw the ball at will. But if you don't catch the ball,
nothing else matters.
You're going to be punting, and that's what they just did here. In a game like this, you would think that they probably shouldn't even punt, technically speaking, if they're playing sound football. 40-0 with 61 seconds to go. On the play fake, it's Sarl. Rolls to their side. Here comes Jacob Griffin, and he's going to tack him, just sack him down. Unabated to the quarterback, Jacob Griffin, and Francisco Saucedo met him there just to give him a high five after he got up after that sack. Jake Griffin, big man on campus right now.
Nice job in pursuit there. Jake Griffin just drove Sorrow into the turf there. And what a great job of pursuit from the Red Mountain defense there, all over it here tonight.
They tried to run a play-action boot to the far side of the field, and Jacob Griffin came up and just snuffed that play out. No one put a hand on Griffin. They go back up the middle. This is Damian Duarte, and Duarte shows a little fight for this Dobson Mustang run game, and he bolts over to the secondary out for about a 10-yard run. Picking up the tackle there in the open field was Isaac Thompson.
Nice job by Duarte, able to shake it loose there a little bit and pick up about 7 or 8 yards there for Dobson. Nice job on the carry.
Boy, Isaac Thompson plays a great brand of football. Third and 8 for Sarl and company. They go back to Duarte, and on a run blitz, Kyle Ender's defense says, nope, I don't think so, and taking away the ball and going towards the end zone is Isaac Thompson. So Thompson houses one here, but unfortunately they're going to call this one back. And who ran into the end zone with Isaac Thompson? I'll give you a guess. Number 22, Georgie Ramirez, was right next to him. Little two-man convoy between those two.
A nice effort on the play, unfortunately blown dead there by the officials, and that's how this first half of action will end.
One note on Isaac Thompson. 21 total tackles for him. He's just a few off the pace. The leading tackler is Anthony Giraldi. So our first half comes to a close from Dobson High School. Our score, Red Mountain 40, Dobson 0. All of your halftime festivities coming up next. Thank you for joining us on the Red Mountain Halftime Show. All right. That's not 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's 40-0. It'll be Molina from his 2, and his momentum will carry him back into the end zone, and his Achilles touched the goal line. And by rule, the ball will be placed on the 20-yard line. And that's where Red Mountain will begin their second half with a 40-0 lead. And really in the first half, it began with Georgie Ramirez, and he finished it with that safety. Double Deuces had himself an electric first half, getting his first start at running back.
Yes, he did, and it was nice to see him in there getting some positive yardage for the Red Mountain Lions. He made a number of contributions in that first half, and I look for him to continue to do that here as we go.
It'll be Darren Smith handing the ball off to his running back, and this is Butler again, and Butler is just going to rumble his way for a big first down run, a 15-yard run to start the second half. And that was just a nice power run. Got to that secondary and made some people miss and took a little shot there at the end of that play.
Yeah, he did. Like I said, he was tackled a little bit awkwardly as he gingerly limps off the field. We'll hope that he visits with the training staff very quickly and see him back on the field here very shortly for Red Mountain.
Jared Butler's first varsity touchdown in the first half, part of that scoring for ACU. This is Georgie Ramirez in the backfield. On play fake, it's Darren Smith. He throws on the run. The ball's caught. And the ball's caught on the far sideline. Penalty marker comes in. Making the reception was Carter Wheat. And for Carter Wheat, that is his second catch of the game. For Carter, entering play tonight, 9 catches for 86 yards. He is still without that elusive first touchdown for Red Mountain. And that penalty looks like it's being assessed to Red Mountain somewhere up front. So they're going to push it back. And if you saw that late, the referee behind his head, so illegal man downfield. 11:26 to go. At the 42-point mark, we would be playing the remainder of the game under the AIA running clock. So it'll be Darren Smith with 2 wide receivers. Georgie Ramirez behind him in the pistol formation. Dobson showing blitz. They back out of it. Smith to the air. Throws complete. Carter Wheat. And Carter Wheat makes a 3-yard reception, and then he's spun down to the ground. A host of Dobson Mustangs there defensively. Of course, they suffered a couple injuries in the first half, that P. Walham's group. They lost Logan Lugers to a lower leg injury, and he is still on the bench getting treatment, but he does still have his pads on, so perhaps you could still see him, but it didn't look good. Loss of 3 there. 2nd and 13 from the 32-yard line. Correction on a previous play, credit Carter Wheat with a 2-yard reception. To the ground game, it's Georgie Ramirez as he hits that hole, and he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards running right behind Francisco Saucedo, the right guard.
Nice tote there for Georgie Ramirez and Francisco Saucedo. Excellent job blocking up front. Defensive lineman tried to do a little swim and rip move there, but nothing doing as Sauce is very stout at the point of attack.
So the Mountain Lions will be faced with a 3rd and 9 from their own 36-yard line here. First drive of the second half. Again, starting on the far side on this drive is Jared Wilson. Made a reception early in the ballgame. Smith back to throw from the pocket. He completes it over the middle of the field, and this looks like it's Zach Molina, and Zach Molina will bob and weave his way out across the 50-yard line into Dobson territory. Nice catch and run there by Zach Molina, and when you get Zemo in space, he'll make you pay.
Yeah, he's dangerous out in the open field, able to make a couple moves on a tackler there, and sprung for another Red Mountain first down. They're moving the ball at will here on Dobson here early in the third quarter.
Unofficially a gain of 15 yards, 1st and 10. This is George Ramirez on the student body left. Starts inside, and he's going to go right up the middle with it. Nice job there by Georgie Ramirez. Put his foot in the ground around the 43-yard line and made that cut back towards the middle of the field and pick up extra yardage right there. That was an 8-yard carry for Georgie Ramirez.
And you'll notice he has a great bit of patience there. He's able to let the play develop, let the offensive lineman cover up their man, and find the hole and hit it hard. Nice job once again there for Georgie Ramirez.
Dobson Mustang is down on the field. It looks like it's John Ledesma, defensive tackle. He's listed at 5'5". Can't be right. At this point in the ball game, James, safety is going to be paramount for both teams, but on such a balmy night, such a warm evening here, you would think that hydration is critical here as we move throughout this game.
Well, it's been a premium up here in the booth, and I can only imagine what it's like for those guys down there competing on the turf. And it's very hot, very still here tonight, humid, and just very muggy outside, and they got to keep drinking that water and keep themselves hydrated.
And how about a shout-out to some of our global listening audience tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We got Tim Russell listening, staying up late with us there, 11:41 on the East Coast. In Georgia, he's listening to the game. His daughter is covering the game here tonight for the AIA, and great to have the listening audience out there abroad, if you will, Kevin.
His daughter, Alex, is in the house tonight in the press box, a Cronkite student here at Arizona State University. Congratulations to her. That is not an easy school to get into. When I think Georgia, I think Atlanta, I think Athens, I think the University of Georgia, Athens. In between the hedges. Back to live action. There's a strike on the far sideline. Oh, man. Wide open was the wide receiver making his second catch of the game is Jared Wilson. And Darren Smith threw a strike. And once again, there is a Mustang that is clipped up on the field, holding their lower leg, number 32, down on the ground. That's Brandon Thibodeau. So Thibodeau, a good player, has made some plays here tonight. In that secondary, he's banged up.
Yeah, the training staff is getting their money's worth here tonight for the Dobson Mustangs. It's a MASH unit out here for the Mustangs.
So in a 4-0 ball game, you have to continue to remain sharp if you can. I'll tell you right now, on that last play, I said it was on the far sideline. It was on the far hash. But Jared Wilson, his debut at the varsity level here, making plays anyway.
Indeed.
Jackson Breacher making some plays, and Javon Ivey making plays. All new receivers in the fold here tonight for Darren Smith and Garrett Strail. All of them have a reception in this ball game, and they're all standing at least 6 foot tall or better.
Yeah, it's good for them to get some live bullet action here and get some timing down with quarterback Darren Smith as well.
Smith under center on the fake. He rolls out. He's going to dump the pass off to Molina, and Molina's going to sprint towards the end zone at the 10, the 5, and he'll coast in for a touchdown. Zach Molina on the receiving end of that Darren Smith pass, and it's now 46-0. Red Mountain, Pater Pops, touchdown, Mountain Lions.
Wind that clock, my friend. That was an excellent job there getting the ball to the outside. Zach Molina had a host of blockers. They were turned to the inside. Nothing in pursuit for Dobson, and Molina able to strut into the end zone for an easy 6.
14-yard pass play from Darren Smith to Zach Molina. Good for 6 points. With the Garrett Strail home, the 1-point conversion attempt by Connor Gardner is good. 47-0, 9 minutes to go, and a penalty marker thrown on that PAT try. For Molina, entering play tonight, he had 7 catches for 83 yards. He picks up his first touchdown of the year. Of course, he did not play last week, coming off that 5-reception, 50-yard performance against Chavez. And so they still haven't put up the extra point for some reason. Now they do. So it's 47-0. And once they put the ball in play again, we should be under the AIA running clock rule here. So that should make it a short second half here, as many of the Dobson Mustang fans have already filed out. And when you have a program like this that is challenged and the numbers may not be what they used to be. At one point, this was one of the largest schools in the 6A conference right here at Dobson High. It was a power. And the numbers decide a lot of things, and the numbers just aren't there for Dobson. But for the guys that they have here, they're passionate about playing the game. They want to learn the game. Pete Walheim said you have to be patient and just teach and continue to go to work. If you're here to coach for victories, for wins and losses, you've got the wrong job. You're at the wrong program.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's not about the wins and losses, and those things will fade over time, but it's the memories that these kids make together and becoming outstanding young men and learning to work as a team and collaborate, and a number of life skills that are learned on the gridiron.
Shorts and Jimenez deep to receive. I think this is Kufadakis, and Jimmy swings that right leg through it, and he just buries that one towards the back of the end zone. That will go through the end zone for a touchback. How about the leg work right there for Jimmy Kufadakis?
Yeah, a number of contributors on special teams for Red Mountain, and big shoes to fill in the kicking game there with Riley Pagel graduating last year from the Mountain Lions. He'll be kicking the ball up north for NAU, and but these guys have come in and done a fine job replacing Riley Pagel.
Riley is the punter at NAU. I believe he's going to redshirt this year, or gray shirt. But what an outstanding individual, Riley Pagel and his family. Great people. Empty set for Searle. 5 wide receiver package for the quarterback. Back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He's hit as he lets it go, and he was absolutely drilled. Shaq Daniels was there defensively in the coverage, but Francis Kumi finally got to the quarterback, and maybe taking a shot right there was the center, number 50, Adam, Pandam Rongumpon, the tackle.
Excellent.
Second and 10 from the 20-yard line.
I don't know if Dobson's emptied it out the whole game until then, have they?
That was their first empty set that I can recall. Clock running, second and 10 from the 20-yard line of Dobson. There goes the man in motion. Searle takes the snap on a jet sweep. It's a handoff. They stretch him out, and he'll have absolutely nowhere to go. Coming up with a big-time tackle for a loss was Alexander Randall, and I think Isaac Thompson was also right there next to him, and another player shaken up for the Dobson Mustangs, and that is their best player, Damian Duarte. Duarte was the motion man on that jet sweep, and he just took a pop.
Yeah, that was a lot of beef there landing on top of that ball carrier. Alexander Randall, 6'3", 255, had another guy on top of him as well, probably about 400 to 500 pounds laying down on him there. And heavy pressure from Red Mountain's defensive line. They've been coming all night long.
I got a note handed to me. It says Carter Wheat, and then there's a question mark. He's okay. He's all right. 3rd and 15, possession play for Searle. Honor center, back to throw. He's under pressure. Now he's going to step up. He's flushed out, and he's going to run with the football, and they're going to push him out of bounds. That's number 5. Shaq Daniels with the force out on Nicholas Sorrow. Well short of the first down, and the Dobson Mustangs are going to be forced to punt inside 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, trailing 47-0.
Yeah, they lost a little bit of contain that time, did the defensive line for Red Mountain, and Sorrow able to get out of the pocket, make a little bit of a play with his feet there, but cost at the sideline there by number 5, Shaq Daniels, and ultimately going to punt this one away.
Do they return one here? Zach Molina on the far hash, Georgie Ramirez on the near hash, Riley Anderson in to punt once again, 4th and 9 on their own 21-yard line.
Call the play here, Kevin. What's it going to be?
It'll be Anderson over to Ramirez. Do they reverse it? It's going to be Georgie to the 45 to the 50. Penalty marker out, open space to the 40, to the 30, to the sideline, and he's going to be clothesline and run out of bounds there. That's Georgie Ramirez taking unnecessary shots on the sidelines by the Dobson Mustangs. Not real pot shots, James, but extra shots nonetheless. And look at Isaac Thompson down there in return coverage, blocking. Just a nice job by Isaac Thompson as you see a Mustang player shaken up right before our very eyes here at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, great job by Isaac Thompson, as you mentioned, but I tell you what, Francis Kumi came back on a crackback block there and absolutely destroyed the guy in the middle of the field, and he got up very wobbly, and they are tending to him right about the 45-yard line for the Dobson Mustangs.
For Francis Kumi, he struggled a couple weeks in a row now. It's much like Mike Peterson did after the 0 start after the 0-2 start a season ago, you lost to Chandler and Hamilton. Coach Peterson said, all my younger classmen are going to play with their age group. He sent kids down to play with the Jays, play with the freshmen, and they steamrolled that week. They figured out how to do it. They learned how to win, and they returned the fundamentals that we talk about. We have not seen Khalem Reese-Peebles since he took that shot early in the first half.
See if we can't locate him on the far sideline somewhere. Probably a wise move to keep him out of the game given the score here.
Looks like it's Javon Ivey lined up on the far side. This is Garrett Strill on a quarterback. Strill takes the shotgun snap. He throws, complete to Butler. Butler makes a man miss at the 50, and then he's going to be wrapped up and lassoed down to the ground there. Jared Butler on the receiving end of that one. That's his second catch. As the Dobson defender comes up and makes a nice play. Number 2, Mr. Shorts.
Yeah, nice job hanging on by the shoestrings there was Shorts and not allowing the ball carrier to get loose that time for Red Mountain. Excellent job on defense for Dobson.
5-yard reception for Jared Butler. Again, Ivy lines up to the top of your screen. Ramses Rivera's not in the ball game at this point. They give it to Butler. Butler with a lot of room to run. 40, 30, and he slammed down to the ground inside the 30-yard line. Around the 23-yard line, that's Jared Butler getting loose with a big hole up the middle, and the offensive line just created a big hole for Butler to run right through. Nice run.
Yeah, excellent job there running up the B gap. That time was Butler unaccosted there at the line of scrimmage, and nice job paving the way for the Red Mountain Lions up front.
Gain of 17 yards. Garrett Strill out of the pistol. He'll go right back to the ground again. And it is Butler one more time. Butler's just running hard. An angle run. And he is just picking them up and putting them down there, running with some authority. There is Jared Butler. Already a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, he's got some impressive numbers so far. Number 84, Monet Walker, 5'7", 165 coming up and making the stop there for Dobson.
Gain of 7. Clock continues to run here. Third quarter, 47-0. Mountain Lions have the lead. This is Strill to the air. Throws over the middle of the field. The ball is in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. Pretty good ball there by Garrett Strill. His intended target was your place kicker, wide receiver Connor Gardner. Hard to imagine that your place kicker and your punter is also that durable to go out there and run pass patterns in a 47-0 ball game.
Yeah, nice job there. A little crossing route there for Gardner, and he might be lucky that that one was incomplete because there was a defender for Dobson waiting to light him up.
So it'll be Strill. George Ramirez flanked to his right. They give it to Ramirez, and Ramirez breaks the tackle in the backfield, turns the corner, lowers the shoulder, and he's very close to the first down. That was a fourth quarter-esque run by George Ramirez right here in the third quarter, but you just like that young man's toughness. He gets better with each carry.
Yeah, he does. He's got a great pad level, able to approach the line of scrimmage, and he understands leverage, Kevin. He's able to carry a pile with him and pick up positive yardage for Red Mountain. And once again, a great job on offense there for the Lions.
Connor Gardner on to what would be a field goal try. A 36-yard opportunity upcoming here for Connor Gardner. His long on the season is 45 yards. Good snap by Pulliam. A good hold. And Gardner, his kick is wide left. Boy, he had plenty of leg, James, but that one wide left of the goalpost. And Red Mountain will leave a scoring chance on the field here. Clock continues to run. 1:24 to go in this third quarter. Still 47-0. You would like to get some points there, but at the same token, you're running in all kinds of different bodies and different kind of combinations right now, just getting kids some work.
Yeah, it looks like Gardner, his plant foot might have slipped just a little bit there. It caused him to push that one out to the left just a little bit. But, yeah, valuable reps here in a game like this for these younger players on both sides of the football. 1
minute left in the quarter. Nicholas Sorrow has gone all the way. He continues to take the snaps. They go right up the middle again, and Alexander Randall says absolutely no chance of you running this way. AR took on all comers that time, and advantage number 90, Alexander Randall.
Yeah, he stood him up right there to the line of scrimmage, and number 9, Braden Jansen came in to clean it up. An excellent combo effort there from the Red Mountain front four.
What a difference a week makes nearly 400 yards on the ground last week against Perry. This week, Dobson has really yet to get 5 first downs on the night. 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Sorrell under center. Turns around, gives it to the fullback, and he'll run right into Francis Comey. And Comey's going to just send him back the other way. The fullback got the football, went right up the middle. As soon as he picked his head up, he ran into number 80, Francis Comey. No real estate that time at all. Again, the front four, very disruptive for Red Mountain.
Yeah, an excellent job that time. Francis Comey firing off from his 4-point stance. Nice swim move. The offensive lineman unfortunately had his head down the entire time trying to block down. Comey had nothing to do with that, swung the guy, and did an excellent job of stuffing the ball carrier right away in the backfield.
We have played 36 minutes from Dobson High School. As we head to the fourth quarter, our score, Red Mountain 47, the Dobson Mustangs 0. Fourth quarter action coming up right after this break. We pick up live action here to begin the fourth quarter. Cyril over the middle of the field completes to his wide receiver. That's the biggest play of the night. Xavier Jimenez on the receiving end of that one. That's a gain of 40 yards. Cyril to Jimenez. 1st and 10. Dobson will move the sticks.
Nice job moving the football that time for Dobson. Sorrow able to set his feet and throw the football that time with relative ease.
The leading receiver for Dobson is Michael Gundersdorf in this contest. Sorrow again to the air, looking for a wideout, and this ball is going to be batted down in the secondary. Evan Almta over there providing the coverage on Jamal Bavalian.
Yeah, nice job, Almta, on coverage there for Red Mountain. He read that ball coming in. He was trailing that time. The receiver had great position on him, but able to get up and swat that one at the last second and make a nice play for the defense.
Entering play of the night, Xavier Jimenez was the leading receiver. 5 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown. 2nd and 10 for the 48-yard line as the clock continues to move along here in the fourth quarter. Cyril out of the shotgun formation, steps up in the pocket, throws down the middle of the field, and the ball is nearly intercepted. A one-handed chance there by the defensive back, but that defensive back's getting it done on the offensive side. That's Jared Wilson out there playing some safety. So one thing that Coach Peterson has been able to do in a game like this, he's been able to mix in a lot of different combinations and play a lot of kids.
Yeah, have those kids get some valuable playing experience, and not only that, but able to interchange with other guys and see how they play and read their keys and so forth, and a lot of nonverbal stuff going on the field right now for Red Mountain.
47-0. Zach Molina has lined up at cornerback here. Molina has played all the way tonight. He's been a stellar slot receiver. He's played some safety and now some corner here. Sarl back to throw. Pressure from the backside. Steps up away from the pressure and dumps it off over the middle of the field and making the reception, and then getting hammered from the backside there was number 80 for Dobson. That was Eric Fluker. Fluker standing at 5'5", just a small young man, but he played big on that reception right there, and it was a nice little bit of running after the catch there for Fluker to get that extra yardage for the first down.
Yeah, exactly, and a great job by the quarterback from eluding the pass rush as well and able to find the Fluker in the open flat, get him the ball, and a nice job making a move on a tackler by Fluker.
Gain of 12. Sarl Again, first down at the 40-yard line. Good snap, back to throw, hit as he lets it go. The ball's intercepted on the far side by Hiram Boren. Boren's got no one in front of him. 40, 30, goodbye, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. A pick six for number 7, Hiram Boren. Pater pops, touchdown, Mountain Lions.
Yeah, Bourne spying the quarterback the entire way that time, saw the football coming in, made a play on it, and he was off to the races that time. No one in front of him, and no challenge that time from Dobson.
In fact, we talked about that very young man in the first half on his ability to anticipate, to see the action before it happens, and right there again, Hiram Boren was at the right place at the right time, but he created his own luck, stepped in front of that Cyril pass, and housed one. A pick six for Hiram Boren.
Nice little pick six to add to his resume there.
Unofficially, a 45-yard pick six for Hiram Boren. And for Boren, in 4 games, has played special teams, quarterback, linebacker, and now a little secondary.
Yeah, great job there for Hiram Boren.
So Strail in as the holder. Good snap. Here comes the rush. The kick is end over end, and Connor Gardner hits the extra point. So Gardner had an extra point block last week by Clayton Schmitz, and he missed a field goal last week, and he has been exceptional tonight. However, he has missed a field goal. Slow down and talk on the radio. However, he has missed a field goal here tonight. I'm all excited. I just got a score here in the 8th inning. The Dodgers lead it 4-2 over the Rockies in Colorado, for those of you that are involved in a pennant race. I think the Diamondbacks are fading.
Believe so.
But they're still in it. Devils take on Michigan State tomorrow night at Sun Devil Stadium. Former Pinnacle quarterback Brian Lewerke makes his return for Sparty. Should be a good one. Devils with a big win on their opening week.
And you've got
how'd the Cats do? Oh.
Cats lost to BYU, sir.
My bad.
Yep.
The Cougs.
The Cougs.
Jacob Conover and Carter Wheat's future club.
Yes, sir.
They're winning before those guys get there in Tucson, of all places.
Here we go.
So the Cats start off 0-1. The Devils unbeaten after one.
Well, they haven't played anybody. Let's be honest. UT San Antonio.
Oh,
come on.
Hey.
Come on. Let's keep it real.
All I can
Let's
say
keep
is
it real.
Herm Edwards is going to play.
Keep it real up here.
Herm's going to play the games on the schedule. Herm didn't make that schedule.
That's true.
Herm walked in. This is who he's got to play. Kufadakis again on the field for Gardner. Well, he's got a leg too. So Jimmy Kufadakis sends one into the end zone.
He does. That was an outstanding kickoff.
So the Mountain Lions lead it 54-0. Big night for Georgie Ramirez. Big night for Jared Butler. Big night for Isaac Thompson. And boy, what a big night for Alexander Randall. He has been just a force in the middle all evening long.
He has been coming hard all night long, and they have no answer. Virtually unblockable up front tonight is number 90, Alexander Randall for Red Mountain.
Hiram Boren with a pick six for that young man. Congratulations to him. He'll give way here for the backup quarterback. Garrett Strail will come over and play some linebacker. That's what they do at Red Mountain. The quarterback sits in the linebacker room, and now Boren will give way here. Cyril has gone all the way under center. He'll hand it off, and they'll try to run it up the middle, and they will have absolutely no chance to gain a yard.
Yeah, punishing defense once again there for Red Mountain. But how about Hiram Boren trotting off the field with those flashy kicks? Gold bottom cleats there. Almost had to put my sunglasses back on.
Trey Smith in the ball game now for Red Mountain. Might have picked up a tackle there. Trey Smith, a senior, big young man. Molina remains in. Sal under center. They run it. Starting in and bouncing it outside is their tailback. Garrett Strail over there. Stuffing out the run there by number 20, Jack Canderis. And also defensively for the Mountain Lions, number 14, Jared Wilson. So J.W. having quite a quite an impact here in this one against the Dobson Mustangs.
Yeah, a little offense, a little defense. Utility guy there for Red Mountain. Excellent that he's able to get in and get some reps on both sides of the football here tonight.
Red Mountain's going to win this ball game. They lead it 54-0 inside 4 minutes to go with a running clock. Again, it's Sorrow under center. Long count for him. They can be patient here. And Sorrow is going to be sacked in the open field by that young man we just mentioned to you, number 87, Trey Smith, with his first sack as a varsity player right there, getting it done for Red Mountain.
Yeah, and that's actually number 9, Kobe Castello in at quarterback for Dobson on that brief drive there.
The Dobson Mustangs scored in double digits only 5 times last year. Dobson scored a season-high 35 points in the win over La Jolla, and they were outscored 350 to 141 on the year. They continue to struggle. Red Mountain has won 8 consecutive games against the Dobson Mustangs. They'll win their 9th straight here tonight. I just remember the tradition. Last year, Red Mountain won at home. They beat Dobson 54-7, and a year later, they got 54 on the board again tonight.
Coincidence?
Dobson was 4-11 since the beginning of the 2016 season, which they started 4-0. They've lost 8 of their last 9 games as Pete Walheim's club. They're struggling right now. Former Los Angeles Ram Toby Wright is a member of the Dobson Mustang alumni, as well as his brother T.C. Wright. While Toby went to Nebraska and played on Sundays, T.C. went to San Diego State, where his first game he rushed for over 200 yards, then tweaked his ankle. He was unable to play the following week, and the next man up for San Diego State is Marshall Falk. This is the punt return on the far sideline. That's number 14, Jared Wilson. And Jared Wilson, a nice return as a penalty marker comes in from about 40 yards away. Boy, what a toss from the referee right there. He's got himself a right arm. Perhaps Torrey Lovello might think about, that was low. That was low. Lovello's been struggling with that bullpen. Brad Boxberger unable to get people out in the 9th. Archie Bradley unable to get people out in the 9th or the 8th. But that referee's got himself a cannon.
He does. He could have put an eye out with that one there, Kevin.
.216 left. Special thank you to Jeremy Knutson, our technical producer, and his staff. Fine group of gentlemen here. Red Mountain has the rock. 2:04 to go. Garrett Strail is going to finish things up at the quarterback position. Flank to his left looks like the big fella, Brandon Fobble. And we'll find out who that is. Whoever it is, he can't be contained.
Running folks over there in the middle.
It looked like the fullback, Brandon Fobble.
Indeed.
And we'll verify that right now. That is Brandon Fobble, 5'10", 227. And I can tell you this, that young man can squat 500 pounds. Just a brute, Brandon Fobble. Picks up a nice run there on, give him a first down run. Fobble gets it again, goes right up the middle, it steamrolls a guy, trucks another guy, still on his feet, inside their red zone to the 15-yard line, and is going to be grabbed out inside the 15-yard line. Around the 13-yard line is Brandon Fobble mowing people over.
Just ran over 4 people in the last 2 plays, Kevin, with a great head of steam. Brandon Fobble, you mentioned that squatting ability there. He showed it there. He lowers his head, lowers his shoulder pads, and plows over a guy.
Mowing him over like a freight train. Brandon Fobble, what do you bet he gets the rock one more time right here? 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line of Dobson. It's Fobble up the middle, takes on a tackle, spins out of another tackle, and he's going to be dropped to the ground, but not before he puts a couple another pops on the Dobson Mustang defensive front. Those guys are going to feel it tonight, James.
Yes, they are. Fauble trying to get his name in the paper here. He wants to try to see if he can bang it in the end zone one time here in the waning seconds of this one.
Fauble had a rushing touchdown last year. Final 22 seconds to go in this one. Does Red Mountain try to punch it in one more time here? Second and goal. Strail to the air. They throw towards Shaq Daniels in the end zone. Daniels makes the reception. That's going to be a touchdown. Pater pops touchdown Red Mountain. Garrett Strail to Shaq Daniels from 6 yards away. That's the dagger.
That was an excellent job there. Excellent protection up front. Strail able to set his feet, find the open receiver to the outside there, and put one more on the board for Red Mountain here.
If there's not a fist fight at the 50-yard line after that one, I don't know what's going to cause one. It's 60-0. The final 2/10 of a second run off the clock. And you can see Pete Walheim and other members of the coaching staff ready to take the journey towards the 50-yard line for the handshake. But
this should be good, Kevin. I'm going to tune in with my
this would be
wide-angle binoculars here.
Inside 10 seconds to go. Red Mountain throws the football. Strail to Shaq Daniels. That is what you call padding the stats. That's a touchdown for Daniels on the receiving end of things. As the handshake commences here at the 50-yard line, Red Mountain's going to win it. They won it 60-0 here at Dobson High School. And it was a great night for Georgie Ramirez, a good night for Darren Smith. Jared Butler got in on the act. Alexander Randall was stellar defensively. As a group, James, they played well, and they got the shutout here. They won it 60-0.
Yeah, a very impressive effort in all three phases of the game here tonight for Red Mountain. And not only the starters, but the 2s and 3s came in and contributed as well. And they put points up on the board. They were stout on defense. They made a number of plays on special teams, a couple of pick sixes. And they covered all of the bases here tonight, if you will.
And I know what you're thinking, that people want to get an update on that score from Colorado. When you say you just gave it a lead in there, that's what you call a lead in. And the Dodgers now batting in the top of the ninth from Coors Field. They lead it 4-2. They trail the Rocks by a game and a half. Your National League West baseball update. I don't know what the Diamondbacks are doing. You guys can text us or tweet us and let us know how the Snakes are doing. But James here, a good game for Red Mountain. After a tough loss, they rebound. They're now 3-1. They're unbeaten in their first game on the East Valley region. Coach Mike Peterson was the East Valley Region Coach of the Year last season, and he's off to a good start this year.
He is very good start indeed for Red Mountain, and they look to continue that. We've been on the road for 3 weeks now. They're looking forward to returning home next week, and it should be a great contest back at the home turf next week.
We're headed home to Red Mountain High School for our entire broadcast team. For James Poovey and Jeremy Knutson, I'm Kevin Derryberry. Our final from Dobson High, where the Red Mountain Mountain Lions go wire to wire, and they win it 60-0. Good night from Dobson High School. Until next week, have a great week. Take care.